You're listening to On the Road, a podcast powered by Autocar.
I kind of wanted to touch upon what you were saying, Chris, about when people are just getting started out, you try to help them, put them at ease, to make them feel more comfortable when they're getting on the road, basically.
Yeah.
Are there some kind of general tips or recommendations that you would have for drivers that are just getting started?
Well, as a new PCO driver.
How they can basically get into it and feel more comfortable.
Well, what they've got to bear in mind is because when you look at the job itself, PCO driving, you know, a lot of drivers that come into this industry have been given advice by other PCO drivers. And they kind of get this perception where it's just a case of, you know, picking people up and dropping people off. And how hard could it be, you know? But it's a difference between driving half hour in the morning to get to work and driving half hour to get home from work in the evening. When you are actually behind the wheel for that amount of time, you know, it's a different situation altogether. And particularly when you're driving in dense areas like central London, you know, where it requires so much concentration and so much focus. I think with most PCO drivers, what they tend to find in the beginning is that transition from just driving social or just going to work and back and driving as a career, because you are literally behind the wheel for X amount of hours per day. And as well as the distractions that you would get on the road, or i.e. passengers, also when they're accepting jobs, following the GPS systems, you know, all these things are a distraction, you know. So it's the advice that I give guys that come to us as a new PCO driver is take your time, learn the job. Don't go into it fully 100% from day one. Right. You know, it's like any job. It's not quite as simple as just picking people up and dropping people off. It's about adjusting yourself, adjusting your brain, and adjusting your senses to driving for that amount of time on the road per day. You know, and what my advice to drivers, and I know they need to earn money, but take it easy from the beginning. Start as a few hours first day. Extend it by the next week or whatever, you know, and just build yourself up and learn the job, you know, because if you go into it gung-ho right from the day one and you're out there doing 10, 11 hours a day, you're not only driving, but you're also learning to do the job.
It's a risk, isn't it?
It's a risk, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's so much to juggle at once. And if you're not used to being a professional driver, you know, that could be quite overwhelming, and sometimes it could result in an incident.
Yeah. To add to that as well, I think for new drivers, I think one thing that is very difficult is obviously as a new driver you don't know where's the hot spots, you don't know where you can make the most money. And I think one thing starting out for drivers is, and at Autocar we do say it is chasing money. Okay, and we try to help them and try to explain to them that chasing money, if you get caught chasing money, it can be quite a damaging thing for you, really, because it, again, like I say, affects you mentally. But on the road, you tend to, what you would normally do maybe 10, 11 hours, you haven't reached your target, you then maybe extend an hour, 2 hours, and then that's when your body starts to kick in, your body clock starts to kick in, where it's not used to that. So just try to manage and stay away from trying to reach targets and only sort of chase the money on a day-to-day basis. And obviously when you do go home, have a nice good rest. Don't just sort of sleep for a few hours, jump up. Obviously we know most people have families, they've got to spend time with their families, but you need to make sure in yourself that you have had a good rest, because look, if you're out on the road and something happens, you don't want to risk yourself because you have that family. So it's very important to spend that time with your family, but it's also very important to make sure that you are there for your family. And in accidents, some things can be serious, and you can get injuries, and you can be affected in the long run. So it's about making sure that you are properly rested, you manage your time correctly, and work forward from there, and work a good routine that works for you, works for your personal life, and works for your health.